Hey guys, good morning and welcome to chemistry. I'm really sorry I couldn't be there in person today to say hello and introduce myself, but at least I can introduce myself virtually in a super awkward and totally spontaneous video from afar. So, this packet here, you should all have one of these handy green packets full of your syllabus and other materials that I want you to have, and I'm just going to spend about 20 minutes going over them. So that we can really get started when I get to class next period. So the syllabus is like everything you need to know about the class besides like the actual chemistry, but all my policies, all my contact information, and most importantly, although it's at the very end, the class calendar. I suggest ripping out the last page and sticking it somewhere front and center in your planner or in your chemistry binder or whatever it is you're using to organize stuff for this class. That's what I do. I keep all my calendars in a central location where I can reference them regularly. All right, back and forth scrolling. On the first page of my syllabus, all my contact information, my name. My name is Sarah Shoemaker. You can call me Sarah. I'm comfortable with that. You can call me Professor Shoemaker, Mrs. Shoemaker. Just don't call me Miss Sarah because it makes me feel like a preschool teacher. My email address is in here. My office hours. So I actually designate this first one here, Monday and Wednesday, 10 to 11 a.m. Notice that is right after our class period. So the hour after class I try to reserve for sort of review. So if you were confused during lecture that day, you can stay after, hopefully, if you don't have another class, and we can go over homework problems or we can review some of the stuff from the lecture. Really staying on top of chemistry is key. The materials for the class that you need. So I have other office hours that you can come and get help anytime. I have them posted here, but really if I'm in my office, then just come on in. Office hours are just a time where I definitely should be in my office, but if I'm there, don't hesitate to come in and ask for help. This is the textbook for the class. It's Chemistry, Structure, and Principles by Naval-Dautreaux. The second edition, and it is important for this class to get the second edition. This edition is important, but you can get it used on Amazon if you haven't gotten it already. Here's the ISBN number. If you haven't gotten the textbook already, get it ASAP, please. You will also need a calculator. I recommend a scientific calculator because we'll be doing exponents and logs and functions that basic calculators don't have. You don't need a graphing calculator, but if you have one, you can use it for the class. You're also going to need access to a website called Sapling Learning. And another handout in your folder is this one here, which is the instructions for registering for Sapling Learning. So just follow these instructions, and you pay for it on the website itself, so you can't purchase an access code at the bookstore, which means you can't use financial aid deferment. But the cost is fairly reasonable compared to a lot of other online homework systems. So for one semester, it's $42, but this is really a 2-semester course, so if you plan on being here for the 2-semester sequence, you can go ahead and prepay for next semesters and pay $64, and that gives you access to the site for 2 semesters, so it pays for your online homework for both semesters at a somewhat discounted cost. I also have some strategy tips here for you. I guess maybe write down in your planner somewhere right now and wherever you're writing your to-do list. First thing to do for homework for this class is go ahead, get online, and register for Sapling Learning. Even if you can't pay for it right now, you can get free 14-day trial for Sapling. So you can at least sign up for the free trial, log in, check it out, see what it's all about, get used to it, maybe try starting the first homework. My biggest tip with the homework is one of the options, and I'll pull up the Sapling website right now. So this is what Sapling looks like. Here's the first homework assignment. Whatever upcoming assignments are coming up and due soon will be listed at the top of the Sapling page when you log in. And the assignments are about 25, 30 questions each. And there's one assignment for each chapter, and you have about a week or so to finish them. They're all posted currently, so you can get ahead in the homework if you feel comfortable or a desire to do so that is available to you. So the questions are all listed here. You can go out of order. You can click on them in any order that you want to attempt them. You can skip questions if you don't know how to do it. There's hints. All right, there's other resources that you can use, like the periodic table. The hints sometimes will give you a formula that you need to call your attention to. All right. After you put in your answer, you hit check answer. So like, let's say I just do some random letters, ST, check answer. All right, so my answer is wrong, and it says that I can try again, or I can give up. And if I give up, it'll show me the answer. But if I give up, I'll get a 0, and I won't have any more attempts to do the question. Every time you try again, you lose 5 points on that question. So although I got this wrong the first try, if I get it right the second try, I'll still get a 95 out of 100 on this first question, which is not bad. So just keep trying again. And if you have to try more than 4 times, then get help. But really use this give up function very rarely on an occasion, because it will give you a 0 for the question, and it'll really plummet your homework grade. Okay, so back to the sort of home page of the Sapling Learning Homework website. So your upcoming homework will always be listed right up here at the top of the page, but if you scroll down, you can see all the homework assignments really for the rest of the semester are posted here already with their due dates. You can do the homework late. You lose 10 points or 10% per day that it is late, and that's only on the work that is late. So if you did half of it on time and half of it is late, you'd only lose 10% on the half that are late. So the point is, don't not do the homework. Don't think, oh, the deadline's passed, it's too late, I can't do it now. The homework is really important for helping you practice your skills and really solidify your understanding of chemistry. So I allow late submissions because it's important to me that you do it. And it's better late than never, but it's better on time than late. So try to be on time. I also want to call your attention to this section right here, these resources. All right, the Chempendix, I think, might be a glossary that Sapling provides. The periodic table is a periodic table, but these tutorials, all of these links here, are actually links to YouTube channels that I have handpicked because they are super talented educators that have YouTube channels, and they give really good tutorials on a variety of different subjects. So you just go to Tyler DeWitt's tutorials. Let's open that. I really like him. I like his style, but everyone has different styles. So this is just a list, an index of all of his videos. So let's say we're learning chemical formulas and you don't understand how to write chemical formulas. Well, you can watch any number of these videos about chemical formulas. You just click on it, takes you to the YouTube video. So these can be really good, especially after hours outside of the class day when you can't access me and you're really struggling with a concept. It can really help. It's also not a bad idea to watch some of these videos before you come to lecture on a subject to sort of prime your brain and just get familiar with a subject, even if you don't understand it from the video. The more times you see or hear something explained, the better your memory is and the better able you are to pick up new things every time you hear it. So with chemistry, a lot of repetition is involved in mastering it. Down here are practice assignments. So Sapling, as a homework website, you're entering all your answers online on this website, and sometimes there's sort of specific formatting features that you have to kind of get used to. So when we get to drawing molecules, there's a molecule drawing tool in Sapling, and you might want to learn how to use it before you attempt the homework problems and get it wrong because you just don't understand the drawing tool. So these are a good place to go if you have a question and you don't really understand how to input the answer, if it's not if it requires a formula or exponents or subscripts and you're not sure how to do that. Check out these practice times. They're super easy. They're not graded. They're quick. but they give you that little tutorial on how to use Sapling. So that might be something you want to check out, especially this practice assignment, over the next couple of days before we come back to class. That could be a good way to get your feet wet with Sapling. So, homework item number 1, get online, register for Sapling, and start checking it out. Okay, so Sapling homework. I haven't even made it past the first page of the syllabus yet. Okay, course, this is a chemistry class. That's basically saying all the topics we're going to learn this semester. In addition to Sapling, all of the course information will be housed on a website called Blackboard Learn. So all of the college classes at North Country use this website. You will be able to actually link to or click on a link to the Sapling website from Blackboard, but it's sort of like the home page for our class, and you'll be able to download the syllabus, other materials, periodic table, see the class calendar there. And so if it's not working, if you're ever having trouble with Blackboard, that is an IT issue. So the IT email address is helpdesk@nccc.edu if you ever need help with login stuff. But Sapling, if you're struggling with Sapling login, that is something to talk to me about. On this topic of online resources, online communication involves email. And actually my chemistry students have been super awesome at email etiquette, as I assume all of you guys are, but it's just a reminder because in this day and age, we're all doing a lot of texting. I do a lot of texting, and even I fall victim to this sometimes where I send an email to someone and it's more like a text where I didn't, say hello or thank you at the end, and I didn't write complete sentences. So just a reminder that in college, when you're communicating with professors or administrators or admissions or whoever, you always want to put your best foot forward and do it in a professional way. And I am trying to do that myself, so hold me accountable to that as well. When I email you, I will always say, hello, student, whatever your name is, and then I will write my email and I'll sign it at the end. So try not to use slang language. Make sure that you punctuate and that you're polite and that you use an opener like hello, dear, whatever, and then that you close it with something sincerely and sign it. Attendance is mandatory and very, very strongly recommended for this class. If you miss one day in chemistry, it can often set you quite far behind because we do move quickly, and the class really builds on itself. So if you miss, an introduction to a topic and then you come in the next day, you might be kind of lost because you missed the first day of that lecture. So if you are going to be absent, that is okay. Stuff happens throughout the semester. There's lots of valid reasons for missing class. You're sick, your car doesn't start, your kid is sick, whatever the reason, it really doesn't matter to me. I trust your judgment of whether or not you can safely make it to class on a given day. All I ask of you is that you let me know. So there's no such thing as an excused absence really in my class. Everyone has 4 excused absences, so 4 free absences without penalty. But beyond that, if you miss more than 4 classes, I will start deducting points from your total grade. So attendance, there are 5 attendance points that I can deduct. So after 4 absences, another absence will result in 1 of those points being withdrawn, and another absence. So for every absence you miss, you can lose a grade point, up to 5 grade points for missing excessive amounts of class. But do let me know, because I worry. I'm a worrywart, so if you don't show up, I'm always like, are they okay? What's going on? So you don't have to share private information if it's private while you're not there. I just ask you to shoot me an email, let me know you're not going to be there. If you do miss a class, you do need to make sure that you get the notes that you missed, preferably from a classmate. But if you need to, come by and see me, and maybe I can make you some photocopies or something. But it's actually better a lot of times to get notes from a classmate because they will have written down more of the things that I said that maybe I didn't write down. So oftentimes students will have better notes to copy than the instructor will because the instructor isn't thinking from the student's perspective. If it's a snow day, and the college is canceled for weather or some other issue, we've been closed before for like electrical outages. If that is the case, do not assume that you have a free day off. Make sure you check your email, because many instructors, including this one, will send out a homework assignment, something that you need to do, possibly turn in the next class period. So my motto is that even if class is canceled, learning is not. So I don't want you to lose a day of reinforcing chemistry just because the weather isn't good and you can't make it to campus. There's plenty of ways you can do some reinforcement on your own at home. So now that brings us to the course grading system. I've arranged in a nice pie chart for you to see here. So there's really 5 different components of your grade. So it's not completely based on tests, which is nice because then it makes those tests not quite so overwhelmingly stressful that your whole grade is dependent on these tests. I had some classes in college that were like that. But what it does mean is that there are a lot of little things. There's a lot of work, basically, for the class. You're going to have quizzes almost every class period. You have homework assignments for every chapter. But all of these things serve to help you learn better and really be the responsible student that you want to be, that you're here to learn, and these things will help and reinforce that learning. Also, it diversifies your grade. So again, your grade is not entirely dependent on one thing, on tests. You have labs and quizzes and homework assignments that can help buffer it. So even if you're not a strong test taker, you can raise your grade a little bit by doing well on quizzes and homeworks. So, quizzes. The first thing I'll talk about are quizzes. The quizzes in this class are probably different than quizzes you've had before, so I call them benchmark quizzes, and they're pass-fail. So you do have in your handy green packet here, the very end, you have a half sheet of paper, and this is the example of the first quiz that we're going to have. So the first quiz that we're going to have is going to be on significant figures and unit conversion, and the questions will be very similar to these. Oh, and density. Significant figures, unit conversion, and density are the topics of this first quiz. It will be 2 questions, and you're going to take this quiz 3 times. So all of the quizzes are given 3 times, 3 class periods in a row at the beginning of class. And they're quick, but they're just testing that you understand a very fundamental concept that's very important and that you really need to be solid on in order to move forward in the class. You have 3 attempts to get a 100. You either get a 100 or a 0. So if you get a 0 the first time, no big deal. You take it home, you study, you work on it, you come back, you take it the second time, and then you also have a 3rd attempt to get it 100% correct. So those are the quizzes. There's going to be about 10 of those throughout the semester, 10 different topics. They're really 30 quizzes because each one you'll take 3 times. If you miss a day when we have a quiz, which is pretty much every day, you don't get to make up that attempt. So part of the reason you have 3 attempts is to give you also an opportunity to miss one of those. So you do want to make sure that you pass those quizzes. If there's one quiz that you don't pass and you end up with the 0 on, I will drop the lowest quiz grade. So you can get away without passing one of those quizzes. Labs we'll talk more about in lab, but the lab grade will be 15% of your overall grade in the class. Online homework will also be 15% of the grade in the class. You will be spending a lot of time completing the online homework. And I already went over that in Sapling, but just to remind you, you do have multiple attempts for questions. You do get a deduction each time you attempt to answer a question, each time you try again. And don't really try not to give up and check answer because it does hurt your grade. So, we'll take a breath here. One thing you'll notice in my syllabus here is my cell phone number. Now what I want you all to do right now is put my cell phone number in your phone and go ahead and send me a text message. Text me your name, tell me that you're in Chem 101, and I don't know, send like a funny picture or video, or not a video, but like a GIF or GIF, I don't know how you say that, G-I-F. Just send me something to make me smile and let me know who you are. And then you'll already have me in your phone. We will have broken the ice. A lot of times students feel really weird about texting me on my personal cell phone with chemistry questions, but I'm such a dork. I seriously love helping students with chemistry. What would take me 5 minutes to help you with might take you 2 hours to try to figure out on your own. So if you get to a point in the homework and you're really pulling your hair out, you've used the hints, you've looked it up, you just really can't figure it out, you're stuck, text me a picture of the problem and the work that you've done, and usually I can find your error. Sometimes you just need a second set of eyes to point out where you're going wrong and point you in the right direction. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me in that capacity. If it's late or if I'm busy, I just won't text you back right away. So it really doesn't, I don't let it interrupt my life, and I really do love, love, love helping people over a text message. So don't be afraid to do that. Tests and the exams, we'll talk about those more as they get closer, but I do not do makeups for missed tests, only under really sort of extreme circumstances, so try not to miss any tests. I do drop the lowest test grade, so if you miss a test, it's sort of, you get a free pass and not have to take that test. So really try hard not to miss tests, and the test dates are already posted in the calendar at the end of the syllabus, so mark them in your calendar and make sure you are not going to miss any of them. We'll talk about lab policies in lab, but the major key to lab policy is safety first. And then the last part is sort of the legal parts of the syllabus, ADA 504 accommodations. If you get accommodations, or if you have like an IEP in high school and you get extra time for tests or anything like that, please let me know so that I can, organize or plan for accommodations. Academic integrity basically says no cheating, no plagiarism, be honest. And that includes in lab as well. So when you're doing lab work, it's dishonest to lie or falsify lab results. It's a form of plagiarism. So academic integrity all the way around, lecture and lab. My Title IX statement, this is and the diversity inclusion statement, really the key to those is that I really want our class to be a safe environment for everyone. And if you feel like you are not safe, please let me know. Title IX involves sexual assault and abuse and domestic abuse. If you disclose to me that you are have experienced assault or abuse, I can keep that completely private, but I am required to tell you that I'm a mandated reporter, so I do have to report that to our Title IX coordinator. It will still be totally private, but just that one person I have to let know. But if you are experiencing any feelings of not being safe in your personal life, in your college life, in our classroom, please, please do let me know. Come to me and talk to me. Same thing, that the college is, not the most diverse of places, but we do have a lot of people here of different backgrounds, and everyone deserves respect. So my little motto right here refers to both of these sections. And then lastly, this is just sort of a statement saying that things change. For example, I didn't expect to miss the first day of class, and I did have to shift things around a little bit. So sometimes things in the syllabus and the schedule will shift, and I will always keep you informed of that. So it's not 100% set in stone, but I work my best to try to stick to this schedule. So keep it handy, and your homework assignments are to log into Sapling, and where's my finger in the video? Here. Okay, log into Sapling and just maybe check out some of those practice exercises, but just make sure that you can get logged in and that you can kind of just get comfortable with the class. Read Chapter E of the textbook, at least skim it. Make sure you know what we're going to be talking about on Monday or Wednesday, whatever our next class day is. And also send me a text message if you haven't done that already. And then other things, make sure you get yourself organized, get materials for the class, because when we see each other next, we're going to launch right into to lecture and learning. So I look forward to meeting you all soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.